What up, YouTube? T-Movies here with the new show, The Morning Show, premiering now on Apple Plus, which I haven't seen, but I heard some pretty good stuff about. Maybe I'll watch The Morning Show sometime today. I'll see if I have enough time. But anyway, since it stars Reese Witherspoon, who of course won an Oscar, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Reese Witherspoon movies. Because who doesn't love Reese Witherspoon? I mean, that woman she's a doll, she's an awesome actress. I mean,
I see what you're saying.
she's an Oscar-winning actress. So, I mean, she's also been doing a lot of TV now, like Big Little Lies. She's been on. Not to mention, she has a new Hulu show called something Little Fires Everywhere, something like that, premiering next year. She's of course on the morning shows. So yeah, Reese Witherspoon's been in some great stuff. So, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Reese Witherspoon movies. All right. Coming in at number 10 is actually one of her recent films, and that's a little romantic comedy called Home Again, where Reese Witherspoon plays this character named Alice Kinney, who ended up recently being separated from her husband, played by Michael Sheen, and she decided to start over again by moving back to LA with her move back to LA with her two daughters, and also while celebrating her 40th birthday, she ends up meeting these three young filmmakers named Harry, George, and Tay, who needs a place to live. So complication of course soon ends up arising when she agrees to let the man stay in her guest house temporarily and all. And Alice even develops a budding romance with one of them, named Harry. And she ends up having her newfound happiness ends up coming crash down when her ex ends up showing up and all. And it's directed by Nancy Meyers' daughter, Haley Myers Shire. You got Pico Alexander, who played the role of Harry. A few other people got in this. You got people like Nat Wolff was in this, Michael Sheen, Candice Bergen, Blake Bell. You had Reed Scott, PJ Byrne. It's a really nice genetic romantic comedy. I thought it was pretty decent, cute, charming. Reese Witherspoon was really charming in this. It's a really nice little rom-com. If you guys ever seen it, give Home Again a shot. I mean, it's not great or anything, but it's actually pretty decent. And I mean, Nancy Meyers' stories, I think, could easily become like Nancy Meyers in the near future. So yeah, Home Again is a really decent flick. Alright. Coming in at number 9, it is the film Wild. Now, you got Reese. It's based on a true story of Cheryl Stray, played by Reese Witherspoon, who was driven to the edge by the loss of her beloved mother, named Laura Dern, played by Laura Dern, I mentioned that, and the dissolution of her marriage, and a headlong dive into self-destruction of behavior. And so Cheryl ends up making a decision to hold her downward spiral together, and she decides to go outdoors with no experience and with a heavy backpack and a little and plus little else to go on her well. And she sets out on a very long hike to the Pacific Crest Hill, and it's a very interesting tale of survival and all that. It's really good. Reese actually scored an Oscar nomination for this. There was probably talk that she easily could have won her Oscar for this because she was actually that good in this movie. I mean, Laura Dern, I believe, scored an Oscar nomination for this, if I'm not mistaken. It's directed by, speaking of Big Little Lies, it's directed by John Mark Valley. You also had Michael Huseman from Game of Thrones fame. Thomas Sadowski was in this. Gabby Hoffman. Some really good cast was in this. And Reese really, she went very down a spiral. She, ended up drinking a lot. Her character, I should say, ended up drinking a lot in this movie. Reese really, it's definitely one of her, very different roles she's done in recent years, and it's a really good film. If you guys never seen her movie Wild yet, give it a go. I mean, it's also based on Cheryl's memoir, too, so. And, of course, Reese and Laura are both on Big Little Lies, so. Almost said Pretty Little Lies. Alright. Coming in at number 8, we got Sweet Home Alabama. Now, it stars Reese Witherspoon as this New York fashion designer named Melanie, who decides to find herself engaged to this city's most eligible bachelor. Well, like Melanie's past ends up holding main secret, including Jake, played wonderfully by Josh Lucas, who's like the redneck husband she ended up marrying in high school. And so she of course refuses to and of course he really refuses to like divorce her and also like bound, and so she's of course bound and determined to end their relationship once and for all. So Melanie ends up sneaking back home to Alabama to confront her past, only to like discover that like you of course can't really take the girl out of the South and all, and you got loads of other great castings. Like you actually got Grey's Anatomy alum. Patrick Dempsey was in this. Some really cool cast members. It's a really nice rom com film, and I mean, you even had Josh Lucas having a Southern accent, which is kind of weird because he's not really a Southern guy either. But he really played like a Southern really well, and Reese like chemistry with both Josh and Patrick were both great. Really cute rom com. If you guys ever seen Sweet Home Alabama, give it a go. And of course the song, of course the song of Sweet Home Alabama is the best. So Sweet Home Alabama. All right, all right. Coming in at number 7, it is Cruel Intentions. Now, Cruel Intentions has a great cast. You've got Ryan Felipe, who actually him and Reese was like married for like a couple of years, and they also have like a daughter together. And Cruel Intentions is terrific. I mean, you've got it was actually Reese, like I guess you could say like the film that really put her, like one of the films that really put her on the map. And here, of course, is based on the like a modern day adaptation of Dangerous Liaison, where Reese ends up playing like the virgin daughter of this headmaster of a prep school. And so like of course you got Sebastian played by Ryan Felipe and Catherine played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, who like pretty much finds like a debacle wager of a sexual conquest that she pretty much like ends up bringing in this like a 17 magazine, and they want to like try to turn the new girl, like they pretty much want to try to get Sebastian in bed with the new girl with Annette played by Reese Witherspoon. So they're trying to make the good girl into a not so good girl anymore. Cruel Tensions is terrific. I mean, it's a really great college based movie. Reese Witherspoon was terrific. Sarah Michelle Gellar was amazing. Ryan Felipe was great. I mean, who doesn't love Cruel Tensions? Like the characters, I shouldn't say all that likable, to be honest with you, but they all really play these characters very well. And yeah, if you guys never really seen Cruel Intentions by now, give it a go. And to be honest, like not gonna lie, this past March I actually got to see Cruel Intentions on the big screen when they re-released it. That was pretty cool seeing Cruel Intentions on the big screen. But yeah, Cruel Intentions is a really terrific film. If you guys never seen it, go give it a shot. All right, coming in at number 6, it is Fear. Now, this is actually the movie that really, I guess you could say that Mark Wahlberg actually broke out with. It's like, one of Mark Wahlberg's earliest roles, and it's one of Reese Witherspoon's earliest roles. And in it, you got Reese, who plays this 16-year-old named Nicole Walker, who ends up like falling for this 23-year-old guy named David McCall, played by Wahlberg at this Seattle nightclub. And she ends up falling for the guy, and at first David becomes like charming and exciting and all, despite the wide age gap. But he also ends up winning over her family as well, except for like her workaholic father named Steven, played by William Peterson, who's very suspicious of David from the start, and and his concerns turns out to be right, and so like David ends up being pretty much being turned out to be like this violent psychopath who ends up pretty much stalking Nicole and her family as well. You also got like a very young Alyssa Milano was in this. Yeah, Fear is a really messed up film, but really great Like I thought Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon both have great chemistry with each other. And come on, who remember the farewells, the farewell us, the wheel scene? I remember that one. Great. Like Reese and Mark, both had I meant to say Ferris wheel scene. My bad. But yeah, Fear is one messed up, crazy film. It really, it really showcased Mark's like Marky Mark's creepiest side. And yeah, if you guys never seen Fear by now, it's a really good film. All right, coming in at number 5, it is Pleasantville. Now this is where it's Tommy McGuire who plays like this high school student who's like very devotion to, and so like you got this mysterious TV repairman played by Don Knotts, who's of course not best known for TV shows. Pretty much ends up providing him with like a means to escape into like into black and white programming with his sister named Jennifer, played by Reese Witherspoon. And so like they end up pretty much go into like the TV world, and this is like I guess say a love letter to classic TV, and it's full on black and white. I mean, you also got you even had Jeff Daniels was in this, William H Macy. You even had Joan Allen, Molly Shelton, some really great cast members was in this. It was really funny. I mean, Pleasantville is terrific. If you guys never seen Pleasantville by now, give it a go. It's really good. All right, coming in at number 4 is the movie American Psycho. Now, this movie is American Psycho is nuts, and I mean crazy. You got Christian Bale who plays the serial killer Patrick Bateman. You of course got Reese Witherspoon who plays who ends up playing Bale's wife here. Now she doesn't really have that big of a role, but but her role is very interesting. Like, of course, it's very interesting, um, especially like what she's given to do in this. And her like on-screen chemistry with Christian Bale's Patrick Bateman is insane. I mean, Reese Witherspoon was terrific. Christian Bale was nuts in this. Yeah, American Psycho is one psycho of a film, and yeah, if you guys never seen American Psycho by now, give it a go. It's awesome. Very bloody, gory, great violence. Really good film. Alright. Coming in at number 3, it's of course a film that really won Reese her first ever Oscar, and that is Walk the Line, directed by James Mango, who also gave us Logan, and he also went on to give us. He's also doing that Ford v Ferrari movie coming out, so he's no stranger with biopics. But Walk the Line. You got Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. You got Reese Witherspoon as Johnny's wife June Card Cash. You also got Jennifer Goodwin was in this. You also got Robert Patrick here. Really great cast members. Reese, she definitely her Oscar win was definitely deserving. Like she was great as June Carter Cash. Joaquin Phoenix as John Cash. A little surprised he didn't win his Oscar, but he was terrific in this movie. The film was like, you even had Reese, do some singing in this, which that woman could sing. I mean, I always keep forgetting how good of a singer that she could be, but she really did some. Like, I can't really remember if she did her own singing in this, but her music talent was great in this movie. And of course, like I already said this, but her on-screen chemistry with Joaquin Phoenix definitely worth it. I mean, Walk the Line is terrific. If you guys never really seen Walk the Line yet, give it a go. It's a really good one. All right. All right, coming in at number 2, it is Legally Blonde. Now, Legally Blonde, come on, you got Reese Witherspoon as Elle Woods. who ends up trying to become like a lawyer. And that's it's Legally Blonde is really funny. Reese Witherspoon is really like Elle Woods is definitely her most iconic role to date. And of course, you also got you even got people like Matthew Davis was in this, Selma Blair, Luke Wilson, Victor Garber. You got Jennifer Coolidge, Linda Cardellini, Raquel Welch. Now, Legally Blonde 2 was okay, but doesn't beat the original. And there are also talks about Legally Blonde 3, which actually has a release date for May of next year, but they still haven't shot that thing, so I still don't know if that movie's still even going to be happening or not. But yeah, Legally Blonde, it's a 2000s classic. I mean, when you think of Reese, Legally Blonde is definitely the movie that will come to your mind. And yeah, Legally Blonde is a really great film. If you guys haven't really seen it, give it a go. It's a great one. And I do hope Part 3 happens, by the way. Bye-bye, ladies. Alright. Coming in at number 1 for my favorite Reese Witherspoon movie of all time. What is better than Walk the Line, Legally Blonde? Reese's best work of all time, in my opinion, goes to Election. Election is amazing. You know, it's directed by Alexander Payne, who's awesome. You've got Matthew Broderick. You've got Chris Klein. Of course, you got Reese Witherspoon as this like successful student named Tracy Flick. You got Matthew Broderick as Jim McAllister, who plays like this well-liked high school government teacher, who pretty much can't help but like knows that Tracy Flick ends up using these less than aesthetic tactics to get like what she wants. So, and of course, Tracy decides to run for school president and all. And you got not to mention you got Chris Klein as the student, as one of the popular school athletes in this. Yeah, Election is fantastic. I mean, it's definitely one of Alexander Payne's best work. It's a very dark comedy, I should say. Reese as Tracy Flick is, I mean, her character's not really that likable at times. I mean, she was like the, I guess you could say she was the Regina George of the 90s, in a weird way. But yeah, Election is, it's actually one of my favorite election-based movies. I mean, when you think of election-based movies, you think of like the presidential election and all that. But the best election-based movie, in my opinion, goes to a movie about a school election, and that is Election. It is terrific. If you guys never really seen Election by now, give it a go. I mean, it's high school movies of the 90s, not to mention. Really great film. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Home Again. 9, Wild. 8, Sweet Home Alabama. 7, Cruel Intentions. 6, Fear. 5, Pleasantville. 4, American Psycho. 3, Walk the Line. 2, Legally Blonde. 1, Election. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added. Let's see. The Man in the Moon is good. Just Like Heaven. She also did Hot Pursuit, but that wasn't good. This Means War. She was in that movie Sing. That was great. How Do You Know with Paul Rudd and Owen Wilson. She was in that Robert Pattinson movie, War for Elephants. Freeway. She was in that Matthew McConaughey movie Mud. The Good Life she was in. What's it with her being in movies with the word lie in the title? Alright, Monsters vs. Aliens. Redemption with Jake Gyllenhaal. That was okay. There was also, she was in that movie Twilight. Not to be confused with the vampire film, but it was another movie called Twilight. She was in that horrible Wrinkle in Time movie. She's been in some good stuff and some not so good stuff. So, yeah. But let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Reese Witherspoon movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movie signing off.